Good afternoon, you guys. It's your boy Bill Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC and the basketball community. If you want more basketball content, tune in to Basketball Conversations every Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. This is where we discuss basketball-related topics, news, debates, and everything else in the world of basketball. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get all the latest notifications when I start dropping videos and live streams. And please spread the word about the channel. If you guys want to donate to the channel, there will be a PayPal and a Cash App link underneath the description box if you want to donate any money to the value of this channel. All right. All donations will be appreciated. All right. Let's get down to business here, shall we? Boy, I tell you, Kendrick Perkins is making himself look real bad. And the reason why I say that Kendrick Perkins is a straight up joke is because the guy continuously keeps running his mouth and keeps spilling out all the secrets that a lot of players should not be even spilling out when you become an analyst in the media. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about, here's what I'm talking about. This is about the whole issue about with Kyrie Irving, about counting up the players to try to stop them from playing basketball. Now, this is what Kendrick Perkins had to say basically on Wednesday morning in the show called Get Up. You know what I mean? He said, if you take Kyrie Irving's brain and put it in a bird right now, guess what? The bird is going to do is going to fly backwards. Right. And he also said Kyrie right now is confused. He's showing a lack of leadership. Then he doubled down by basically saying on his show called HT Get Up, he says, Kyrie Irving, right now, you are the distraction. You are the distractor. It's crazy to me because you come out and you do something simply out of talking to the president, Chris Paul, or consulting with Michelle Roberts. Let's set out without a plan. It makes zero sense, and I totally disagree. Boy, this guy is he's just a damn joke. Let's just put it that way, okay? Well, you knew that Kevin Durant was not going to take this lying down at all. So he basically, basically ethered him on Instagram by basically calling him once again a sellout and basically retweeted a video of Kendrick Perkins airballing a jumper. Well, that's one way to put it. You know what I mean? But this is not the first time that Kevin Durant and Kendrick Perkins have been beefing with one another. They've been pretty much beefing back and forth throughout the last year, too, as well. You know what I mean? It all kind of reflected back to how, Kendrick Perkins basically called Kevin Durant the weakest player in the NBA by basically making the weakest move in NBA history by joining the Golden State Warriors and all that stuff. And then, Kevin Durant pretty much ethered him by saying, yeah, our starting center averaged a whopping 2 or 3 points in that series. You played hard though too, champ. LOL. And you guys pretty much know that's the history there. But here's the thing. Kendrick Perkins is basically a sellout because at the end of the day, man, this is a guy that never went to high school. I'm sorry, not went to high school. He never went to college, never graduated from college, and somehow, for some reason, gets a job for ESPN just because he played in the NBA. That's the only reason why he's been able to get the job. And plus, he also has a great association with Clutch Sports, who are represented by Rich Paul and LeBron James. So let's put it this way, okay? Kendrick Perkins is basically saying all this because he's basically doing the bidding for LeBron James and for Rich Paul to basically make things look muddier in the streets, okay? This is not the first time that Kevin Durant basically ethered Kendrick Perkins on anything he says, all right? And the thing is, a lot of players around the league are pretty much siding with Kevin Durant on this whole issue. I've seen who else ethered this still too? Let me check real quick. Yeah, well, Wilson Chandler pretty much says ex-players turning into suckers right before your eyes on television. Divide and conquer tactics at an all-time high. And then KD pretty much went back at him. He said, it's all good, Perk. Real fans know you were one of the most lethal hoppers back in the day. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, if I were Kendrick Perkins right now, I'd just keep my mouth shut from this point forward. But we know he's not going to do that because he was basically paid to say these kind of things. Listen, as long as he gets paid to say those kind of ridiculous stuff, that's what he's going to do all the time. That's why I don't take him seriously at all. He's just a joke. That's all he is. He's nothing more than a joke and a true sellout. That's basically what he is at this particular point. And I don't know why people like to want to listen to this guy. The guy clearly is basically a very biased person, okay, and has a very, very distasteful view on a lot of different players that he basically tries to put down to basically suit through Clutch Sports and for the ESPN agenda. That's pretty much what it is. All sports media is biased media at the end of the day. Why do you think I haven't watched First Take, any of these debate shows on Fox Sports either? They're a waste of time. They're a waste of space. And the only thing I will tell you is that I did see a little bit of a clip from Shannon Sharpe, basically on this topic. And I had to say, Shannon Sharpe made a little bit more sense for a change, because the bottom line is, even though that Shannon Sharpe is a huge fan of LeBron James, he even kind of understood, like, listen, there are certain things in locker rooms and basically in sports circles you do not release to the public. And right now, Kendrick Perkins is pretty much doing that for ESPN. He's doing this to try to create clout and try to create controversy to try to draw ratings. That's why he was basically specifically hired on ESPN to do for that specific reason. The guy has no knowledge about basketball. I don't care how long he's played. And the only reason why he got a ring is because he was riding the coattails of three Hall of Famers. That's it. That's all there is to it, guys. So I don't know why people like to refer to this guy as some sort of basketball expert, because he's clearly not. The guy does not know anything about basketball. And I'm glad basically the NBA circle is basically ethering this guy and giving him no attention, because at the end of the day, the guy deserves no attention whatsoever. And I'm glad that they blasted him and basically made this guy look like a fool, because he is a fool. And another thing, though, too, I like how the media is trying to say, oh, there's no purpose of what Kyrie's doing. If they basically done their reporting, they would know that Kyrie's basically doing this to speak about the social injustices going on in America right now. And the specs about him wanting to start a league, like I said before, I would not have a problem doing it. You just got to have the star power to do it. And I think that he'll be able, and I think that with Kevin Durant on his side, it's very possible to make it happen. You just got to make some things work. So, but the bottom line is this. People need to stop ripping Kyrie Irving for what he's doing. He's doing his job as the vice president of the Players Association, all right? He is fulfilling the voices that wanted to be heard, but were too scared to stand up to Chris Paul, Michelle Roberts, and LeBron James. That's what it comes down to. And anytime you hear guys like Kendrick Perkins, guys like Ryan Hollins or Damon Jones basically, basically hugging up LeBron James' nuts every single time he talks, you just gotta blank it out and ignore them, because they literally do not know anything how to separate from their biased opinions to their actual basketball knowledge. If you really debate them, and this is for Ryan Hollins too, if you really actually debate those guys, if you tell them to debate basketball without resorting to the LeBron James discussion all the time, they can't do it, because their illogical fallacies can't make them use different kind of arguments. That's the thing with them. That's why I would absolutely either all of them guys. It would be the easiest debate I've ever had. You know what I mean? But that's just no here or there. The point is, Kendrick Perkins is making himself look bad, and I'm glad that these players like Kyrie and basically Kev and KD are basically ethering this jokester. And listen, this is a guy that barely dunks in a game. So why would anyone take his opinion even seriously at all? The guy's not a scorer, and every play he tried to make, he makes himself look like a fool, and it ends up on shining the fool on Inside the NBA almost every week. Probably worse than JaVale McGee, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And JaVale McGee is a way better player than Kendrick Perkins, and that's the facts. So that's pretty much what it is, though, guys. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. You know what I mean? And I'm going to stay tuned for some more videos later on today. Peace.